I remember the day I broke 100 subs. I literally I came home from work. I went in there. I was like, babe, we broke 100 subs. I was so happy. I thought I was on top of the world, man. And that was at 100 subs. For 100,000 subscribers, I don't even know what to do. I asked the chat yesterday. We were streaming. I was like, what do I need to do? And they're like, you got to send out nudes. That's the only thing you can do. Man, I'm at the point, I'm like, really? Is that what I need to do? Maybe so. Maybe nudes is the way, but you don't want to see me naked. Nobody does. But I will say this. Thank you so much for the 100,000 subscribers, guys. Really, really, man. It's incredible. Y'all have made my dream come true. I will say we will have a 100K video out sometimes this week. I promise. I think I'm going to try to get it out probably Friday. Just a little sneak peek. Yes, it will be another Titan video. I hope you're okay with that. So, yeah, we got a little something coming for that. But today, guys, I do want to talk about trials. I've been meaning to put this video out for a long time. People have asked me to put out a tip video. And I will say this, there is no real general tips anymore. There's just not. So I'm going to break this up best I can. I'm going to break this up for Countdown. I'll break this up for Survival. And then whatever other game modes we get in the future. But that's kind of how I'm going to go about it. Because I feel like these tips all play differently. And I think we need to be very specific about what we need to do game in, game out to succeed. So with that being said, fellas, let's get started. Arming rounds are your rounds. If there's any rounds you need to win, you always need to win your arming rounds. It's just like tennis, man. You're serving. You're deciding where you want the fight to take place. I like to move up temple side. I like to see what's going on, but I don't arm it. What I like to see is if they're there. If they're not there at all, there's no one even present on my radar, then I move over there and arm it up, because obviously we're going to be able to arm it. We've got enough time to arm it and get into a defensive position before they even make a push. If they're there, though, if the whole team is there, then this is obviously a situation we need to get out of, and we need to rotate to keyhole. We need to get to the other area and arm it up there instead. And that's actually going to be perfect, because by the time we get to keyhole and arm it, power ammo will be available there. And so not only are we able to be defensive there, we're also be able to be defensive there, and we now have power. If there is 2 to 3 there, this is when decision making has to be made. If you see 3 enemies right there at temple side, then obviously there's one that is somewhere. More than likely, he's behind you. He's a ballsy fucker. You need to go ahead and turn around your entire team and beat him into the ground. Make him regret ever thinking about flanking your ass. But if you push temple side and there's only 1 there, then there's a good chance 3 may be behind you. This is going to be the opposite effect. Push the one dude that's trying to defend temple all by his lonesome, collapse on him, arm it, rotate out to his body, and sit there. Wait. Play defensively. You now got home field advantage, and you got an orb down. I know this all sounds like common sense, but it's got to be decisions made in a split second, man. And when you say, you know, when you see the one guy alone out there in temple and he's by himself, it needs to just immediately jump out to your head. Man, we got to collapse him. If you see the one guy that's trying to flank you, but then there's 3 on temple side, it's obvious, man. You need to go ahead and hit the guy that's trying to flank you. Again, very, very common for people to run these type of strategies. What I see more than anything is people going 2 and 2. And when I say about 2 and 2 is that's just you picking. People are going 2 temple side and 2 around you and flanking you. Just pick whichever one you want the most. If the 2 in front of you are more exposed, then go ahead and take them out immediately. So we talk about arming. Let's talk about playing defensively. How you need to defend. Now, this is going to change whenever it's a different map, right? But for us, you always want to send the majority of your people to the area that is the hardest to defend. I find that keyhole is the hardest area to defuse. You know, when it's temple is not that hard, right? You can rotate on the outskirts of temple. You can get at beachfront and pick them off. There's a lot of different areas and peak holes that you can get to actually kill your enemies that are trying to defend temple. Whereas keyhole, man, that's a bitch, dude. You get all 4 enemies on keyhole. They arm that thing and they're all just sitting there waiting for you to come in there. Man, they will eat you up. It is by far the hardest one to defuse. So essentially, we just send 3 people to keyhole and we send 1 to temple. The 1 to temple is literally just to sit there and tell us, hey, all 4 of them are coming to temple or none of them are coming to temple, just to let us know what we need to do. If all 4 of them are temple, we all rotate the temple and shoot it out. If none of them are at temple, then they're obviously all going to try to go to keyhole, but at least we already have 3 people here to defend it. And so I find that defending should always be, whether it's this map, Eternity, or another map, you need to always make sure you send the majority of your teammates to the area that is by far the hardest area to defend. Never treat your super like a team wipe. This isn't pubs. This is something I see a lot of people do. They will hold their super wanting to use it on all 4 people. They will hold their super thinking that they need the entire team to be there on top of them for them to justify them using their super. No, this is Trials, and not only that, this is Destiny 2. Picks are everything. As in, if you have a Nova and there is 2 in front of you, maybe even just 1, especially if the one that you're about to kill is someone that has his super, then you need to go ahead and kill them now. Use your super, shut his super down immediately. Now you got a 4v3 and their only super is down. Listen guys, I treat my hammers, even though you see hammer clips here, I treat my hammers very much like a pick scenario. When I push up with the hammer, do I see how many people's there? No, I don't even know. I just honestly I see something on my radar that pings up and I just throw my hammers out. Because here's the thing, it can be 1, it can be 4, whatever the case may be. As long as I kill them and get out alive, it is a success. And that is the whole reason you should be using your super. It shouldn't be used like in pubs where we want to get the clip and we want to get the lights out and get all 4 of them, man. Because it's really difficult to do that in Trials, especially against good players. And sometimes you may just fuck yourself and end up dying and not even take any of them out. So power ammo is extremely helpful, man. I gotta say, power ammo can turn the tide. But the only time I pick up power is to actually break the stalemate. If we're in a situation where they're all 4 of them are stacked together and they're just holding down this area and this zone and it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to break through, then I would pick up power ammo if I got enough time. But for the most part, your presence and team shotting makes a much bigger difference than you going back to your spawn or back to wherever, picking up power ammo and then coming back. Because here's the thing, you might go get power ammo and you might come back and your entire team's dead. Your entire team's dead. You've got what? You got power, yeah, but you're going to be in a situation where you got to 1v4 clutch it. And if you do clutch it, definitely send the clip into aztecrossgaming@gmail.com. But on the other side of things, it's a good chance you won't be able to clutch it because shit's hard. And so, you know, you get into that situation, you just want to avoid it, guys, is what I'm saying. Power ammo is important. I pick it up more or less whenever it's kind of on the go kind of thing. If I'm like team shotting and there happens to be power ammo right next to me, then I'll pick it up. If I'm in a situation where I can go back and get power ammo and then push up together as a unit, then I'll get it. But if team shots are already being conducted and the fight is now carrying on, and especially if we're defending and they just armed, there is no time to get power ammo, guys. You need to push, you need to get in there, man, and you need a team shot. Because your presence, your ability to take shots alongside your team will make the biggest difference in you winning that round. The 5th and final thing, guys, is do not spam your abilities. This is not Destiny 1. Destiny 1, we had such fast cooldowns on stuff. Like, you throw a grenade, and 25 seconds later, you had another nade. You melee, 25, 29 seconds later, you got another melee again. Here in D2, man, that stuff takes forever. Your rift, your barricades, your melees, your grenades. What I like to do is literally hang on to everything. Honestly, I may throw a nade every now and then if I know I can get a pick with it, but for the most part, I hang on to my nades, especially if you got AoE nades, like a vortex grenade or a pulse grenade, any of those grenades, man. If you've got those nades are the best nades for placing on the bomb. You've got a bunch of enemies pushing up and they're trying to defuse, man. Throw a pulse nade, throw it directly on that bomb. Nobody can defuse that thing. But from what I've seen, I see more people throw their nades out in 1v1s or throw their nades against guys that are like half health or one shot when they can just shoot them down. And they throw that nade out when they could have used the nade for defensively or use it over there on the bomb or wherever it may be, but in a much more strategic location than where they just used it. And now they're in a situation where they're having to clutch up 1v2 or maybe even 1v3 and all they have is a weapon. They don't have any abilities, they don't have any nades, they don't have any barricades, they don't have any rifts, nothing. So guys, sit on your abilities, use them strategically, be conscious of it, and you'll be just fine. All right, guys, so that's it, man. That's pretty much countdown for me. That's kind of all the tips I got. You know, there may be more, you know, just kind of just ballparking a few things, but the rest just kind of comes down to player ability and just you, man. You know, play with the weapons you feel most comfortable with. I played with Nameless Midnight and Conspirator the most. I felt the most comfortable with those weapons. I like them more than Mina Multitool, even though you saw a wide range of people using Mina, but those weapons to me felt a lot better. Well, fellas, thank you so much for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.